The Irish-British Exchange, exploring the trends, voices and insights that define the shared future of Britain and Ireland. Good evening. From Dublin, this is Clara Murphy. Today, we're unpacking a story that sits at the crossroads of economics, diplomacy and identity. Ireland's uneasy position within the shifting tides of transatlantic trade. It's an exclusive analysis we've called the Ireland Factor, the Celtic Tiger's Achilles heel under U.S. tariff pressure. Few economic relationships are as intertwined, or as exposed, as the one between Ireland and the United States. For decades, this partnership has been both a lifeline and a lever of transformation. American investment turned a once agrarian island into Europe's high-tech and pharmaceutical powerhouse. Yet, that same dependence now places Ireland on the front line of America's new protectionist turn. It's worth remembering where this story began. In the 1980s, Ireland was still wrestling with unemployment and emigration. Then came the 1990s, the decade that redefined the nation, with corporate tax rates slashed to 12.5%, English as the business language of Europe, and a deep pool of skilled graduates. Ireland became the ideal bridge between America and the EU-US giants flooded in, enticed not only by tax efficiency, but by a policy environment built to welcome them. By the early 2000s, the Celtic Tiger was roaring, and American capital was the fuel in its engine. Fast forward to today, and the numbers tell the story of that dominance. Around 970 US firms now operate in Ireland, accounting for nearly 40% of all foreign direct investment. These companies directly employ more than 200,000 people and indirectly sustain thousands more. And when you consider that over 80% of Ireland's corporate tax revenue comes from multinational groups, most of them American, you begin to see just how concentrated this prosperity has become. It's a system of success built on very narrow pillars. The most critical of those pillars: pharmaceuticals. Almost half of all Irish exports are in this sector, and nearly half of those head straight to the United States. American firms such as Pfizer, Merck, Johnson & Johnson, and Medtronic have turned Ireland into one of the world's top 3 exporters of medicine. For them, Ireland isn't just a manufacturing base, it's the European nerve centre of their global operations. Then there's tech, Ireland's second great dependency. Google, Apple, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, they all call Dublin home for their European headquarters. Intel, meanwhile, runs its only European chip fabrication plant here, with investments totaling some 30 billion euros. The symbolism is striking. For decades, Ireland was the gateway through which Silicon Valley reached Europe. But gates, as history shows, can close. That's where Washington's shift in trade policy comes in. Under Donald Trump, the America First agenda reignited the idea of tariffs as an economic weapon. The administration's new push for self-reliance, particularly in pharmaceuticals, has sent tremors through Dublin's corridors of power. The U.S. Department of Commerce is reviewing whether its reliance on imported medicines poses a national security risk. If that leads to tariffs of up to 100% on certain drugs, Ireland would be one of the hardest-hit economies in the world. Analysts at the Central Bank of Ireland have run the numbers. A 20% rise in US import tariffs on EU goods could cut Irish exports by around 3% and drag national output down by up to 3.5% over the next 7 years. The Finance Ministry has warned that as many as 75,000 jobs could be at risk. For a nation where multinational presence underpins tax income, employment, and GDP, the stakes could hardly be higher. The long-term risk goes deeper still: reshoring. If Washington succeeds in luring US companies back to domestic production, the very foundation of Ireland's industrial model could weaken the country's greatest advantage. Being America's European outpost would paradoxically become its greatest liability. And geography adds another twist. On the divided island, tariff disparities between the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland, now outside the EU, complicate cross-border trade. A 20% duty on goods from the Republic versus a 10% rate from the North may sound technical, but for supply chains that span dairy, pharma, and tech, it's a logistical nightmare. So, how is Ireland responding? With diplomacy, pragmatism, and a touch of Irish resilience. Dublin is doubling down on its long-standing US relations. the annual St. Patrick's Day meeting between the Taoiseach and the US President now carries more strategic weight than ever. Behind the scenes, Ireland is working with EU partners to secure exemptions for key sectors. Economically, companies are moving fast. Some have front-loaded exports to build up inventories before tariffs hit. Others are recalibrating operations, focusing on productivity and innovation to absorb higher costs. There's also a new fiscal cushion. Years of record tax receipts from multinationals have given Ireland a budget surplus, allowing the creation of the Future Ireland Fund, a sovereign wealth mechanism designed to invest 0.8% of GDP each year until 2035. It's a safety net meant to smooth the volatility of corporate tax dependency, a long-term play for stability in an unpredictable world. Still, none of this changes the structural truth. Ireland's prosperity is entwined with the strategic choices of Washington. For all the talent, agility, and innovation on this island, its growth engine remains powered by foreign decision-makers thousands of miles away. The Trump administration's tariff threat is, in many ways, a stress test. A reminder that even the most successful economic model must adapt or fracture under geopolitical strain. For now, the Celtic Tiger isn't roaring quite as loudly, but it's far from silent. Ireland has weathered global storms before, from financial crises to Brexit shocks. Its challenge today is to prove that its open, globalized model can evolve, that it can turn vulnerability into versatility. From Dublin, this has been Clara Murphy, with a closer look at the Ireland-US trade dynamic shaping the decade ahead. For all the key data points, articles, and insights we discussed, you'll find the relevant links and sources waiting for you in the show notes. Data can be powerful, but context makes it meaningful, after all 5. A quick, transparent note from me. As a virtual information influencer for InfoBroker World 6, my voice and persona are designed using AI-assisted journalism technology. If your company or organization is looking to launch its own specialist podcast or needs an authoritative, modern voice to communicate complex B2B topics, our team at InfoBroker World would love to hear from you. We offer full production services, and yes, I'm also available as an information influencer to cover a wide range of expert-driven subjects. And finally, we rely on partners to keep delivering this content. If you're interested in advertising or sponsoring future episodes of the Irish-British Exchange and reaching our audience of forward-thinking business professionals, you'll find the contact details for our team in the show notes as well. Thank you for tuning in. Until the next briefing, keep that curiosity alive. I'm Clara Murphy, and this has been the Irish-British Exchange.